giving. But again, if people don't give, then we're not going to be able to expand this program.
If you're over 60, you want to go out for dinner and have a luxurious dinner with no dishes and nothing, in a beautiful little restaurant, selection of meals at $3.50 does the job.
Right. And the important thing, though, is a lot of people think they can go in and take the meal out. Unfortunately, the whole reason why there's congregate meal programs is because it's very important for seniors to have social interaction. And the government wants to see people eating in the restaurant, getting out and socializing. Well, for most of the restaurants, it's anytime. We leave that up to the restaurants, like Grandma's Kitchen in Casadega. They have a huge crowd on Friday nights for fish fry, so they won't let you use it on Friday nights.
They just don't have room. Yeah.
Right, they just don't have room. So you have to check, and when we send out the tickets, we send you a list of all the restaurants and any exclusions. But most of them have let you come anytime. So,
okay.
Great program. Thanks for asking about it.
Yeah, I'll give you, thank you, caller. Does that answer? Yes. Okay, I've got a $5 gift certificate here for anybody who wants to save another $5 over at the Lakeview. That's that restaurant at the foot of the hill.
Yeah, they have great food.
And they don't have a senior dinner.
No, sorry.
But what they do, not this job, but what I do is I go and my wife, they have a huge fish dinner, and we split the fish.
Yeah.
And then I just take the salad bar, see? Then we have 2 senior dinners.
Sneaky, sneaky.
No. Well, they say there's no sharing, but there's no sharing cop there. MaryAnnSpanospt, she's the one who does the job for the seniors here in Chautauqua County. She is the officer, chairman, runner. What is it? What is your official title of
Director.
the office? Director. Of the Office for the Aging in Chautauqua County, and that's a big job and a lot of work, and no pay. Well, they pay you something, but I bet you haven't had a raise in years.
No, I haven't had a raise in years. That's very true.
That's a hell of it.
Something I wanted to tell you about, too, is something that's very exciting for the Office for the Aging is a new grant under, you know, how Medicare and Medicaid are being reformed. There was the Affordable Care Act.
Reform means cut back.
Well, but one good thing really came out of this, you know, as I remember when I was young, or even when I had my children, I stayed in the hospital like 3 days for my older son, and you know, now you're barely there 24 hours, and it's that way with older people too. They're in the hospital a very short time, and they're going home and they're not completely well. They're kind of stable, but not completely well. And so what happens is sometimes they get home and maybe they don't have somebody to help them out, or they don't, you know, they were too sick when they were getting their instructions about their medicine, and they don't really understand it. For whatever reason, because hospital days have gotten so short, there's a number of older people who get readmitted to the hospital. And this is a huge cost to Medicare. So Medicare has decided to set aside $500 million for community organizations to go in after the older person is discharged from the hospital and coach them. And these transitional care coaches would come into their home within 72 hours of discharge. So within the first 3 days, and just go over their discharge instructions. Make sure that their medications that they're taking match what the hospital discharge said. Make sure they have their follow-up, the appointment with the doctor, and a way to get there. Many times you get discharged from the hospital and you're not allowed to drive. What if you don't have somebody to take you? We also would go over the red flags of their disease, like the diagnoses we're going to target are people with congestive heart failure, pneumonia, and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And so the whole point I want to make is Office for the Aging has just received notification that we are going to be the community-based organization in Chautauqua County.
Just ours, huh?
Yeah, but we have all 4 hospitals participating. Lakeshore is actually going to be working with a company called
Hold on, caller.
Community Concerns out of the Derby area. But the 3 hospitals, WCA, Westfield, and Brooks, will now be working with Office for the Aging, and it's just so wonderful.
Well, I think it's terrific, and I want to talk very briefly But we have a caller. You want to take a
Yes,
call? Hey,
sure,
caller,
let's take
thank
a
you for
call.
waiting.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
I think it's very wonderful too. I think it's well needed also.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's nobody to speak for the elderly person.
Let me tell you, to give you an insight. Did you ever hear of the DRG?
Yes, I
You know what
have
that is?
actually.
Yeah, they've,
Diagnostically related groups. So many years ago, the government decided people are staying too long in hospitals. So here's what we'll do. We'll take a whole bunch of different kinds of diseases and illnesses and complaints and clump them together into these groups. And they had about 400 groups, I think, when they got finished. And they said, now, anybody who comes in the hospital, say for a cyst on the back of their neck, we'll call that a such and such. And we checked with our computers, the average stay in the hospital was 3.5 days. So we will pay you for 3.5 days. If they stay for 2 days, you still get paid for 3.5 days. If you have them in for an hour, we'll give you 3.5 days, because that's the average for that group. However, if they go over 3.5 days, you don't get another penny. And if they stay in there for a week, it's going to cost you
right.
the time. So
well, I don't know that they're quite using that formula anymore, but it's been an issue. How do we capture what's the appropriate stay?
Well, the obvious conclusion here is get them out as fast as you can. And as you say, they may be going home kind of senseless and uncured, and I have no idea what's going on. They don't do that up here.
Yeah, my husband, when he was in the hospital, I had to hear everything that the doctors and the nurses said, and he's, pretty well guy. But when he had open heart surgery and he had some major neck surgery when he was 42 years old, I doubt he heard half of what was there.
Oh, no, you're in a coma.
So,
caller,
yeah, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, what's up?
I didn't have a question. I just wanted to make a comment. I wanted to compliment your organization because I've had occasion to use it and I've recommended it to several friends. And especially when you get to where you're ready to go on.
This is your cousin.
Pardon?
He thinks you're my relative. I paid you to say this morning.
No. I don't need paid for this. Some things I might, but not for this. Anyhow, I just want to compliment you on a wonderful job, and the information you have for elderly people or seniors is much needed, and whenever I've had occasion, you've always made whatever it is I had to question about absolutely clear. When I got done talking with you, I felt confident that I knew what I should be doing.
Well, thank you. And I like to stress, I'm only the face of the organization because all of my staff are camera shy, but they are the people in the trenches every day. They have such dedication, and I have to tell you a story, not only about my staff that happened this week and one of our partners in carts, but they actually were responsible for saving a lady this week, and I am just so proud of them for their dedication. One of my workers, actually one of the secretarial staff, rides the carts bus, and the carts bus driver, as she was getting on, said, I'm really worried about Mrs. So-and-so. She always comes on Thursday and she didn't get on the bus. Mm-hmm. So the carts driver called the office, and normally if she's not coming, she always calls in. This lady is like clockwork. Mm-hmm. So that's why they were so concerned, and but carts couldn't get her on the phone. So my worker, Jerry Osborne, and the gentleman I want to tell you, the bus driver was Joe Kowalski, I think is his last name, nice Polish name. And Jerry Osborne from my office, she says, Joe, do not worry. I will talk to our caregiver support and elder abuse prevention caseworker. If we can't track down their family, we will go out and check on her. Mm-hmm. And so Jennifer and Jane went out to this woman's house, found her on the floor. We don't know how long that she had been laying there, but she was normally very lucid lady. She was having issues, and they had to call 911, and she was taken to the hospital, and I believe she will be okay. But I just shudder to think if everybody hadn't been, concerned.
They haven't been on the ball.
Right, and you know, we have to be concerned about our neighbors. We live in a very rural area, and we have so many 85-plus seniors living totally on their own. They may have family, but a lot of the family is in, I met with a lady yesterday. She has 2 children. One is in Virginia and the other in Texas. You know, they're not here.
Well, even having children right here,
it's hard.
I have a couple children that live, well, all of my children actually live within the 30-mile range. But sometimes 2 or 3 days will go by that
Right.
I just don't have an occasion to talk to anybody in the family. And, you know, anything could have happened and nobody would know.
Exactly.
So finally somebody say, hey, I haven't heard from Mom in a while. I better go over and see.
I will say, caller, for your information, there are 2 programs that are of good interest. One is your local senior group usually has a telephone chain, and they call each other every day. The sheriff has such a program too. I think it's "Am I All Right" or "How Am I Doing" or something like that. They call you.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, and that's a free service.
They will call you every day and make sure you're all right.
Once a day, and all you have to do is pick up the phone and press any number to say that you're okay. But then we have also a paid service, which we recently developed. It's called the Chautauqua County Medical Monitoring, and we work with a company out of Rochester, New York called Doyle, and we are able to use the buying power of the county to offer a rate of $25 a month. And this is a lot less than you could get on your own. If you see any of those commercials on TV, I've fallen and I can't get up, you know. This is the same service, but it's a lot less expensive.
It's that little alert where you press it on your wrist.
Right, you can either have it on your wrist, or you can, actually I have one right with me. I've been carrying one around.
Just in case you fall on the ice.
Well, and I keep pressing it and nobody answers, you know. My staff is not connected to this as I would like, but normally the neat thing about this is it has like a 1,000-foot radius, so it usually covers you going out to the mailbox. When the person comes to install it,
Fifth of a mile.
They want to know where you're normally moving about your yard, and they put the monitor piece of it so that it covers the best area. There are more expensive ones also that we have that have a GPS in them. We're trying to get that at a good price for people, but
that
you
would
can
be
get it
wonderful.
for free on your phone, you know.
I know, but if people don't have the phone, and if their family wants to know where they are at all times, you know, there's GPS monitors, which is really great for people who have dementia. You know, we've been trying to think about people who live out in Clymer, out where the woods are. You know, they may live with a spouse, but, you know, they could get up in the middle of the night and wander.
Yeah.
So and it could also be good for children, you know, who have autism, things like that. So we're working on that. But this is a really neat service. It's called Chautauqua County Personal Monitoring.
It's only $25?
That's the private pay rate right now. When we get more funding from the government, then we can help share in the cost for people who come into our who qualify for our home care program.
Well, even 25 is,
It's reasonable, yeah.
That's what we would charge you if you wanted it.
that's
No installation fee.
well, that'd be excellent, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, in the other programs that are out there, it seems, the last I checked, they were starting at $29 a month for the least expensive, all the way up to
about
$38.
$1 a day is what I figured.
Wow.
Last time I checked it, that's about $30 a month.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, caller, for your call. And
Well,
I
thank
hope
you,
you have a
and,
great day, and
same to you.
get out and ski. It's beautiful weather out there, huh?
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
not, but you could if you wanted to.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I felt like the mailman this morning through rain and sleet and
whatever,
snow and dead
I
of
had
night.
trouble how to get out. We have I just want you again to quickly point out, you have a falling disc, how to avoid falling. Incidentally, one of the things that's not mentioned.
This is a Tai Chi CD.
Tai Chi. Now, what was that? That's that thing where you go like that and so forth real
Well,
slowly?
Tai Chi, are slow movements,
Yeah.
but what they do is they improve your balance. You
Yeah.
know, as we get older and we're not moving around as much, you're not your body. You lose balance because you're not training your body to improve your balance, and you're not as active as you were. So these are particular moves that improve your balance.
Okay, and one of the things that will improve your balance is stay off ice. You know, the biggest a winter hazard to seniors is ice. You hit that ice and bam, down you go and you're in trouble.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of solutions, though, for that. You know, Linda Spalding, our great friend, wears those, what are they called, moose tracks or yak tracks? Yak tracks.
Yak
And